Yo, what's up, everybody? It's All Things Money bringing you a new episode. You got me, Sheila, a.k.a. One Take Shay.
And you got me, Dele, a.k.a. Diamond Boy.
How was that? You like the intro?
I was expecting a little bit more.
A little bit. but that one's better than the last time, though.
I don't know. Because it's like a subtle intro. It's not like this grand. Or maybe it's the way you present it. It's like it's going to be like this grand intro. What do you think about the intro?
I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to get ready for what I'm about to say. So
yeah.
I was kind of spaced out a little bit. But it sounded, the tone of it sounded cool, but maybe a little more energy. Like, yo, what up?
More energy.
Yeah. Okay. But you seem like a cool, laid back.
Yeah, he's a laid back guy.
Yeah. So why don't you do the intro or like it
I'm
has
a laid
to
back
be.
guy too.
Oh, God. Yeah, I need somebody hyping here. Like, I need somebody to turn it up a little
Well, that's why we try to drink up a little bit.
I feel that.
Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm the creator of Ivorynstonethelabel, which is like a streetwear luxury brand. So I'm here today to just discuss with you guys, certain things about me, the brand, and anything else you guys have to ask.
Nice. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I was just telling Shayla, when Shanice and Jordan came, after we did our episode, I told Shanice to FaceTime me.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember. And you answered.
I did.
And then I was like, it's me. You're like, you try to cover your face. And then I was like, yo, we need to have an episode. You said, yeah, let's do it. When the time is right. And here we are.
Right.
I thought you was bluffing. So when you actually hit me, I'm
bluff.
like, oh, shoot. Okay. I was like, all right now.
I had to hit her a couple times.
Yeah, he did.
She's a busy one. So, Shay, you got anything to say?
No.
Yeah. So let's start it off. So we like to paint pictures, right? Tell a story about, how you got into everything. So let's just start from the beginning.
Okay.
You grew up in North Jersey?
Harlem.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up in Harlem until I was about 14. And then we moved to Jersey, which was like a big culture shock for me. In Harlem, I never really seen a person other than a Spanish or a Black or African descent. So it was definitely an eye-opener, life-changing, and something that made me well-rounded as a person as well, moving to Jersey.
Yeah, I did hear Harlem is fly. People are really into fashion.
Is it Dame Dash?
Yeah, ASAP. Yeah,
Harlem people, they the flyest borough. I mean, they're not a borough, but they're the flyest situation out of the whole New York
I did hear that.
area.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Harlem's not a borough?
No, it's not.
I didn't know. I didn't know you're from Harlem.
Yeah, I'm from Harlem.
It explains it because you kind of have this energy people from Harlem, they kind of own it. You know what I mean? Okay, so you moved to Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Are you an only child? You have
No. I have an older brother from my dad's side, and then I'm the oldest of two more girls after me with my mom. So.
Okay. College.
I went to school in New York.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. I went to school in New York because I was like, I don't want to, at that point when I was going to college, I still wasn't rocking with Jersey all the way.
Okay.
So I was like, I want to go back to New York. I want to be around a different type of people. And, Jersey, the schools, I don't know how the demographic is, but it seems like it's really primarily one way versus, whatever the case is. So I wanted a mix. So, and it was where I got accepted too.
What school was it?
It was Mercy College.
Okay. Okay. I think I have a friend that went there.
Yeah.
The colors are blue?
Blue and white. Yeah, blue and
white. Okay, I know somebody. Okay. So what did you study in?
Health science.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, as a Ghanaian, you only have one or two choices. So it was medical field for me.
So when did you think your artsy or creative side, was that in college? Was that in high school? Was that in middle
That was
school?
from birth. From
Really?
birth, I had that passion within me as far as creativity and art and fashion. And the women around me, my mom, my aunts, forget it. They put on their best, their best. And even growing up, I would wake up to go to school and I put on sweats. My mom was like, what? You are not going nowhere with no... What? I was not allowed to wear sweatpants. I didn't wear sweatpants till I was 19 in college.
Wow.
Literally. I literally dress up for school. You have to present yourself in a way where it speaks volumes, in a way where you don't even have to speak. Your clothes speak for you and where you come from. So that was my upbringing with clothes and stuff like that.
Okay, so you graduated?
Yeah, yeah, I had to.
Once you graduated, I guess you started working?
Yeah.
Or when did the creation of the brand start?
So my entire life, I always used to put studded stuff on clothes, rip up my clothes. Like, I don't know, like, when you're doing something, you don't know what it is, but it's just natural to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's something that was natural for me. And 2017, I started a brand called Ivy Plug, where I was painting on clothing. I started with just painting on canvases, and people are like, yo, you can draw, like you can paint, whatever the case is. So then I had this idea to put it on clothing, and I started selling pieces on Etsy, and like it was getting a little traction, but because I had no like business background and it was just a hobby, I got scared, so I like pulled out.
Okay.
But I always promised myself like, yo, when I get the money and I get the education and the resources, I'm gonna start back up again.
Nice. I always envied like artsy people.
Yeah.
I always did.
Yeah, I appreciate it so
Yeah.
much.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's a different world. Like I see things differently. I view the world differently, and I feel like it's all from the source of my creativity and a love for art and just nature and all those things. Yeah.
I remember in class, like we used to like have art projects or like this art, like what they call it, like busy work. So you have to draw within a line.
Yeah.
And I never could like keep the color inside like the line.
What grade was this?
Right.
Yeah, high school.
No, but I just knew.
What class was you in?
What you mean? So you never had that class?
No.
I was 5 when I had that class.
Right.
Nah.
When I was in high school, we had to draw. And I just couldn't
Yeah,
figure it out.
he was in them class. There was like 8 people in the class. Facts.
What?
Nah, I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah, at what age was he struggling with coloring in the lines? Like, come on.
It had to be like 2nd grade, 3rd grade.
All right, fine.
You had busy work,
all right,
coloring
fine.
book.
Okay, we'll give that.
You guys never had a coloring book?
No.
You never had a coloring book?
Not in 2nd, 3rd grade.
Not in
no.
2nd, 3rd grade. I
No,
think we had
like
advanced to
daycare
arithmetic.
or-
Yeah. Yeah, we had moved on to bigger things at that point. So.
Anyway, I always envied artists because I can't draw or paint or my penmanship isn't too good. Is yours?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's
Your
pretty
penmanship?
decent. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Right?
He's like, it's pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie.
So I always, and plus ever since we locked in with Sunny
Yeah.
and Abby
Yeah.
for the art, so I appreciate art more. I can't
Right.
wait for the event.
Yeah. March
It's
9th.
it's in Newark. I don't know.
What event is this?
It's a art showcase.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually doing like a podcast segment.
Oh,
Mhm. So
So
fire.
we're gonna be talking to the artists.
Oh
and,
my God, that's so good.
you know.
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody the other day, like, one of my dream dates is like going to like an art museum and asking a girl, like, what does this picture mean to you?
Oh,
You know?
that's really
That's
dope.
fire,
I
ain't
like
it?
that a
Yeah,
lot. I
it's
like that a
nice.
lot.
Shayla, you been on one of those?
An art date? I don't know. Nah, I've been to the you ever been to like the installation where like the big balloons and it was artsy.
It was a exhibit, right?
Yeah.
I've been to that. It's the silver
Was it
balls.
in New York?
Nah, it's in Philly.
Oh no.
It's
I know
like
which one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
The
yeah.
balloons,
it was like balloons. It was like different graphics. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
So when you were selling, you said on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
What year was this?
This is like 2017, 2018.
2017.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, really like 2017.
So you used to paint on.
Yeah, I just like kind of woke up one day because I was like going through something. So I just kind of I picked up a pencil and like a sketching pad and I was just drawing and it came so natural to me. It was weird. I was like, what the hell? So my sister was like, yo, paint me this. So she had pulled a picture off of Pinterest and I did it so beautifully. And I was like, okay, let me just like deep dive into this like little thing that I got going on. And then I started painting on like canvases and things like that. And then the feedback was so great. And then it just transitioned to like me drawing and painting on clothing. And that's where I was selling things like canvases and like, customized pieces where I painted on Etsy and things like that.
And what discouraged you from continuing to do it again?
So sometimes when things are a hobby and then people notice how good it is and then they want to buy into it and then it becomes a business, I got scared and I pulled out. I was like, no. Like, what? And I wasn't ready. Like, I really wasn't ready to. So I was like, you know what? This is a passion of mine. And when I get it right, I'm going to come back and do it again.
Okay.
And then that's when 2020, I started Ivorynstonethelabel. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
see.
pandemic times.
Yeah. I had
Okay.
lost my job.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, what now? Because I had thought that the job interview I had right when I quit, that I was a shoo-in for. I was like, I got this. Like my parents were like, are you sure? I'm like, I got this. And they were like, oh no, we're gonna go with another candidate. I'm like, oh shoot, like damn. So I was like, what now? So took a little time off, did things that I necessarily don't want to discuss as far as like what I had to do for money. Nothing crazy, like just like, like you. Let me elaborate because that sounded crazy.
Cut this part of the interview.
Let me elaborate. Like I did like DoorDash and like odd jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that you know, just odd jobs, and then one day my sister came over and I was laying on the couch. She was like, "What do you do all day?" I was like, oh my God, that offended me so bad. I'm like, you know what? Let me get my shit together. Like, let me see what's up. So originally I was going to develop an app. I felt like social media was so negative towards like Black people. Like it wasn't a space where I saw a lot of positive things regarding Black people. So I was like, I want to create my own environment where like Black creatives, Black whoever, people can just come and have a safe space to be themselves and not be criticized and all that ghetto junk and all that stuff. I feel like the media portrays us as it won't be that. So then the guy I was talking to was going to develop the app. He's like, are you sure you want to do something like this? This is something where you're building a community. Like, it's not easy. And he's like, what is something else you always wanted to do? And I was like, oh, shoot, I wanted to do a clothing line back in the day, but he's like, didn't do that. I was like, you're right. So then that's when I started getting into it and, you know, designing and started.
So I guess like, so the first time you did it, you were met with, you know, you were discouraged, and then you said, I'm gonna do it the second time. What kind of like difference, like encouragement you had that you said, you know what, I'm gonna go all the way?
I felt like I was ready. I was a little bit more mature. I had a little bit more money. So I was like, I can definitely do this. So my aunt, she is a big fashion head. Like she's always in the city, fabric stores, manufacturers, people do custom pieces for her. So I kind of went under her wing and I'm like, show me what you do when you go to New York. So we had a lot of trips to New York where she introduced me to her manufacturers, her tailors, took me to different fabric stores and things like that. So that's how I kind of like was able to start, because she had given me that blueprint as far as who to go to, what to do, and kind of like that thing.
You know what's crazy? I actually wanted to come out with an app similar to because 2020 was very negative. Like, I remember like going on social media was very like like taxing on the brain. Like, it was like you just hear one news about this guy. It was just so like you had to really like take a step back.
It was negative.
Media. So having a platform that just uplifts and make you feel good, I feel like would have been the best idea. But like you said, it's a community. Tough. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into that. Like, So you just like,
that's a big monster. I'm not ready for it.
So Ivory, was born 2020.
Yeah, okay. Ivorynston. Yeah.
So how has the journey been thus far?
Oh my God, I was thinking about, you know, that girl who did the why the bleep did I get married? That 50 piece. Yeah. I was gonna start one like why did I become a designer? Because like if it wasn't for this passion, I would have been done a long time ago. Like what I went through my first year almost broke me. Like almost like people scamming me, lying to me, abusing me, using me. And until I learned how to play the game. It's a game, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm in the game now. Like I know how to play, I know how to speak, I know how to, you know, carry myself, what to do, what not to do. And I'm still learning too, but I'm definitely better equipped now, you know?
I always tell people, you know, that's probably the price you have to pay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Being scammed.
Oh my goodness.
Taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Lied to.
Yeah.
People selling you dreams. Yeah. You're gonna get 1,000 no's.
Yeah.
You may get a maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the price you gotta pay.
Yeah, it's a big price.
But nobody sees that.
What? Oh my God. You know, like nobody sees the tears. Like I've broken down on the side of 34th Street, bawling out to my mom. And she's like, I wish I had the answers for you, but you just have to go through this. And I'm just like, this is tough. But
so for someone who's a designer or who is going or facing those similar problems, what would you tell them?
Number one, if it's not a passion, just hang it up. Or unless you like big on business and you know how to run a business, fine. But like, the passion is what keeps me going. If I didn't have that, I would have stopped. There's a lot of like, for example, like when I started this clothing line, like I should have given myself a lot more time before I released anything. But I was like, I'm doing it, but I'm like very like, go, let's go. So I dropped my first collection and I didn't give myself enough time to start designing for the next collections ahead. Like every time it was like the season, I'm like trying to rush and finish the season out. and then dropping it late and not giving people a chance to like really look at the clothes and see what they want to buy and give them time to buy, because some people got to save to buy the stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, like it just has to be a passion and something that you truly, truly want to do, and understanding that it comes with a lot of no's and a lot of waiting. Like right now I'm in my waiting phase. Like I was like 2024 is my year, but I'm realizing I still have to wait a little bit. And I realized too, like it's only March. Like let me relax, because my life can change in the next 6 months. Like let me just keep doing what I'm doing, keep grinding, the discipline, the day in, day out work, you know?
Yeah. Is your aunt still like being like the mentor? Because I know you mentioned that she helped you with the fabrics, but as far as like, far as going into the business, like who was there like kind of guiding you and like mentoring you?
So yeah, aside from my aunt, my brother and my sister are like so I feel like they're more talented than me as far as style and all of that. So like I looked up to them. My sister's younger than me, 4 years younger than me, and I looked up to her as far as like the fashion stuff. I'm sorry, what was the question again? Sorry.
No, I was saying like, so like before you mentioned that like your aunt introduced you to like the manufacturers, but like who's kind of guiding you in the business right now?
Definitely like my siblings. Like that's like my team. Like I run things by them, and I would design something so good. I'm like, this is it. And they were like, like you can go harder than that. And I'm like, damn, but it's like, that's like the perfect team for me now. As far as my aunt, you know, I feel like she had her season in my life where she was meant to teach me and bring me to step 3. And then that was her departure from there, you know, like that was it for her.
So when you so for your business, right? So let's say I wanted to start it's getting hot in here, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It gets hot quick.
Bullets. Nobody got no paper?
No.
Hey.
I
have to unzip this. Okay, hold on. Please. Jesus.
So if I want to start a clothing line, right? What would be step 1?
Step 1.
Or what do you think step 1 would be?
Design.
Or what was okay? Go ahead.
Design something. See what you got.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? See what you got, and then just start building out like a what is the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a rubric for the brand. What do you want the brand to look like? You have to ask yourself 1,000 questions. Who are you selling to? What is it going to look like? What are you like going to specialize in? How are you going to help people with your fashions or whatever the case is? And I think that's kind of like step 1, just playing around with it and seeing if this is a possibility first, at least.
So when you dropped a line already, right? What was the expectation versus what happened?
So when I dropped, I think I didn't have any real expectations, because for me, this is an outlet for me. Like, this is the way I express myself and how I let go of that stress and turbulence in my life. This is my release. So I look at it differently. Like people rock with it. If they don't, they do. They like it, they do.
So regardless, I love that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
Going forward, what would you do different than you did the first time? You know what I mean?
2 things. I wouldn't have done anything different because of all those mistakes and things that I did has taught me now, but I would have given myself more time, more research, more, you know, understanding of what I'm doing. You know, I just kind of jumped into it like, you know, clothing line, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into at all. So just more education.
So do you think sometimes it's good to jump in blindly or to do your research? Because you know sometimes, you know, if there's some people that if like they will do
too much research,
and
they will never do it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the people who just jump into things, you know, they learn along the way. So what would you think?
It depends what kind of person you are. If you're somebody who easily talks yourself out of stuff, then research is not the way to go. Just do it and learn through the process. But for me, because it was a passion, I had promised myself for those 3 years, I was coming back to this. I was like, you know what? If I could change anything, I would have done more research, and then, you know. But it depends what kind of person you are, honestly.
So for you, is it per order, or are you having it in bulk and then?
It's in bulk. I've been a little shaky with the bulk situation throughout the years.
It's risky, right?
Yeah, so like it's a good risk though, you know, because imagine you have like 100 pieces of something you need to sell. Your ass gonna get on TikTok and make those videos and push it and give it to influencers and push it. But for me, I didn't get that opportunity because I was working with like small small manufacturers where they were only making me a few pieces, and by the time they finished the pieces, the season was done. Like I was so behind on everything. So I took 6 months off. The last thing I dropped was swim. So I was like, okay, boom.
Swim is your bathing suits.
Yeah. Swim. So I took 6 months off, which was painful for me. Painful, but I knew I needed that time to like reprogram and change the aesthetic of the brand, because I'm like, whatever I'm doing right now is not working for me. So when I notice that anything I'm doing in life is not working, I have to sit back and audit what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like we have to do something different, because if you do the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same results.
Right.
So I want to change the brand aesthetic, you know, really strong brand story, having my like audience know me more. So I was ready to drop these bomber jackets that I'm wearing right now.
Nice. Fire.
Right?
Yeah.
I was going to drop it in spring. So I was on track. I had my whole year planned out. I'm like, let's go. This is the year I'm talking about. And then my manufacturer was like, oh, it's Chinese New Year, so you're not going to get your bombers until July. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, no, this is the year I said I was going to be on time and do the right thing. And I had my whole, you plan something out.
Yeah.
And then, so basically, when they hit me with that email, I told my sister, I'm like, I'm done. Like, yo, I don't know what to do. She's like, go calm down. Like, you have all these designs, like work on something else. Like, just focus that energy somewhere else, because what you're doing right now is not going to help you in any way.
Yeah.
So I rushed and I designed these 2 dresses and I got them made, and they're ready for pickup now. But like, again, if I try to release these now, then the inventory is not going to be ready until summer. And why am I doing pre-order and people have to wait 6 to 12 weeks for it? I hate that. So now I have to take another 6 months hiatus, which is super painful, but I'm so grateful, because now when I release in fall, it's lit. Like nobody can stop me now. Like I've put the time in, the designs, and I'm working on fall right now as we're, you know what I'm saying? So I had given myself time. So now I feel like I'm on the right track. So yeah.
You mentioned Chinese manufacturers. So how did you get in connection with Chinese?
So the manufacturers I was working with in New York, I was working with this African guy and this Asian lady. They had screwed me over so bad. And
how so?
Just the lies and just messing up my samples. Yo, you messing up samples. You this fabric I'm buying is expensive. Like you messing up samples, we're redoing, paying you all this money and stuff like that. So one day my manufacturer had made swim for me, and she had used the wrong straps for the basis. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, you have to tell me these things. You can't just do things and then not tell me and then do 50 of them. And she's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I don't want to work with you no more. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was going to beg her, but I'm like, no. Something stopped me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to beg. No, I used to beg people like, dude, please don't. And I was like, no. I was like, you know what? Fine. Let me come pick up my bathing suits then. She's like, no, I'm not there. So when I get back to my office, then you can get it. So I was walking around New York, heated, like literally like fire on top of my head, like, and something was like, go to her office and pick up your swim. So I went to her office and I got all this courage or whatever. And then I was like shaking when I was walking into her office because her coworkers are there, but they don't know the situation. Okay. So I was like, hey, where did so-and-so leave my swim? They're like, oh, I think she left it over there. So I grabbed that and I ran. I was like, oh my God. So, cause she wasn't trying to, it was like she was holding the hostage. I'm like, girl, no. So then the next day she texted me like, oh, I saw you came and pick up your samples. You're going to pay for me. You're going to pay for it, right? And then, now it's like, do I pay this lady who's been messing me up for 2 years now? Or do I do the shiesty thing and not pay her at all and be like, deuces, because you're never going to see me again.
What's the damage?
Like, it was like a few hundred, like maybe like $300-$400. And my brother's like, don't pay her. Like, she done messed up. Like, she messed up the swim. Why are you paying for messed up swim? But honestly, I never want to leave myself in a place where, like, open-ended. Let me close that door and let me do my part. I owe you money. Like, regardless you messed it up, let me just close that door by paying you your money back. Yeah. And then let me just be done and clear my conscience. Because I have a heavy conscience. Like, I don't want to be sitting there like, yo, I never really give that lady her money. Like, I hate that. So
if you owe like 400, maybe 200.
Yeah, I was just like, let me just, because in life, you never know how things are going to come back to you. Yeah. Like, I just wanted to clear my conscience, do the right thing. You mess it up, whatever. I don't have time to go back and forth with you. You don't even want to deal with me no more. Let me just give you your money and let me go. So that was just that.
So how did you go about finding a new manufacturer?
Oh my God. So after I had lost my whole team, because I was done with the African dude, done with the Asian lady, I was in my living room like, Lord, I'm in the middle of like this thing, that this rolling ball that doesn't stop, because you can't stop once you get into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lord, I need somebody. So I had researched online like manufacturers in New Jersey. I was like, let me try Jersey out, because New York is the fashion capital. But I'm like, let me try, because I'm sure people in Jersey do this too. So I found this one guy, and he, like, since the day I spoke to him on the phone, he's been such a blessing for me. Yeah.
Thank God.
Right.
So I seen like you have your spring 24 collection that's coming out. I seen the title.
Yeah, so I had to push it back, so it's coming out in fall.
Oh, fall. Okay, and that's the guy you be working with.
Yeah,
to push
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. He's
Good.
also doubled as a mentor too, like.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, giving me some advice and things like that. Yeah.
Any expectations for this?
Oh man, like expectations. Is
there a minimum? Is there?
And again, I don't have expectations on sales and how people are gonna respond. I have expectations on myself. Like, am I gonna put my best foot forward? Am I gonna give it my all? Am I gonna audit where everything is perfect, the tag, everything is good, like the product I'm putting out is literally like the perfect, close to perfect, because nobody's perfect, but the perfect thing out there. So expectations are for myself. They're really high for me. Anything else, I don't care, because this is art for me. Like, this is a passion. Like, it's my release. So people, my audience is gonna find me, and they're gonna rock with me.
I have an idea, right?
Okay.
A few people know about it. I don't really, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I see your campaigns.
Okay, yeah.
How much do you think, let's talk money, right? Ideally, for campaigns, how much do you think is a good amount for a campaign?
It depends. That so depends on the concept and the location and everything like that. I've had
because you do. I seen your.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, we got the look on lock. Like, as far as our creativity, oh my God, we're like kids in a candy store. Like, the ideas and the concepts we come up with to shoot with, it's like so fire. So money could go one or two ways. Like, I've had shoots for $200 and I've had shoots for $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my sister, we flew out to Arizona and did our first shoot, like, together.
That's the one on the website.
Yeah, for the swim. Yeah. So like, that was a little pricey, but the experience and the look of it. Oh, when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, we really did that. Like, so it depends on the shoot, honestly, and the concept and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can see like the passion behind, like, you know what I mean? You gotta have the passion, because
man.
even to say that, like, oh, we're gonna do a photo shoot for $2,000, you're like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not really into this, then you should get out, because it can get expensive.
It can get
it can get very expensive, especially the stuff that we come up with. Oh my God, like, I'm like, we gotta chill. Like, we gotta get to that tax bracket before we can explore certain things that we want to do. But for now, we're working with what we have.
Are you more of the work? So, okay, I'm gonna give you back.
Okay.
Story to why I'm asking you.
Okay.
Right? You know, I battle a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like thoughts. A part of me thinks, you know, the work can sell itself.
Okay.
If the work is good, it's gonna sell. A part of me also thinks, you gotta market. You gotta ads. You gotta push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just drop it and think it's just gonna go, because nobody's gonna see it. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? What side do you fall on?
People want to buy into a story. So if you just saying, oh, this will work, we just drop this bomber and then it'll just, work out for itself, it's kind of like, people want to buy into the story. Like, people want to know what they're buying into. And I had to learn that, because I'm somebody, if I see something I like, I'm buying. I don't need to know who the designer is. I don't care. Let me just put it in my cart and go. But people want to invest in the story, invest in the brand, the designer, and like, get to know you and all this stuff. It's a story. It's a story. So, and that's what I'm trying to really push forward when I drop again, like the real true aesthetic and the story of Ivorynston.
And that's crazy. It's the same with music. Like, once they know the story of the artist, no matter what the artist drops,
they're gonna rock with it.
That's just how it goes. It's the story.
You got a good story?
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So that's a nice.
Yeah, that's all part of the learning process I had to go through.
Yeah.
I'm inspired.
No, for real. Because I mean, I always be like, yo, I always think about just how good like McDonald's marketing is. Like
Mm-hmm,
they
mm-hmm,
don't have the best burger.
mm-hmm,
They don't have the
mm-hmm,
best fries.
mm-hmm.
You know that they don't have anything, but they are the largest, fastest growing
Yeah.
because they do really good marketing. Kids love McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're in movies. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like they have just a good a
Yep.
story, the clown and all that. It's just
Yeah.
you know what I mean, the marketing.
Yeah.
But I do have another question for you though.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say for an example, you lost your manufacturer, you lost everything,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to start from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
How would you, what would you do?
I would try to find another manufacturer, like
Manufacturer,
build a new team.
a new team.
You know what I'm saying? And probably sit back and just analyze what went wrong and how I can change it, and just understand the direction I want to go in moving forward with like the brand or whatever I'm working on. And then I would scout out some new people, try them out, and build a new team, because you need a team for this. At least for clothing lines, like you need a team of people.
You need a team.
Like, you need it. So I would have to reevaluate, see if where I was wrong, where they were wrong, where I can do better, how I can communicate better, and then I look for a new team again. Yeah, because I've been through that already. Like I've lost my team all in one day. Like it was like a span of 1 to 2 days. Like Asian lady was like, "I'm not rocking with you no more." And an African guy, I was mentally, physically done. Like he had
they're gonna do that.
Almost ruined me.
He
almost literally made me. I don't know. Like So and I sat down. I'm like, Lord, I have no team, and I have a clothing line I'm working on right now. Like, and I don't want to stop. Like, what do I do? Yeah. And that's when I found the manufacturer I'm working with now.
So how are you doing like the selling? Is it so is it strictly online? And
yeah, it's online. So I want to get into more pop-up shops and things like that, but it's like the research and the time that goes into it, it's like I'm trying to find time for things, because I also work a 9 to 5. I'm a VP of a nonprofit organization.
Nice.
So it's like I'm trying to find the time to do these things, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Yeah. Are you shipping it out of your house? Like
Yeah.
Wow.
But my manufacturer offers a program where you can leave your stuff with him, and like like $5 to $10 a month, he'll ship it out for you.
Oh, good.
So I'm like, once I get a little more traction, that's what I'm doing, so that I can be able to be in Africa and not worry about if my customers are getting their product. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, 5 to 10. That's not bad at all.
Right? I was like, what? I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facts.
Like give it.
Yeah.
You mentioned your nonprofit. Can you talk a little bit more about what it is?
Yeah. So my family's big on like charity and giving back and things like that. So my mom, she was doing a lot of like missionary work in Ghana, and she saw there was a huge need in the healthcare field for, a place where people can go and get free healthcare. And not because in Ghana, like if you go to the hospital right now, you don't got funds to pay. Either you cannot leave, or they will refuse you. So she saw a problem in that. So we started doing medical missions, and then eventually we started building a hospital. So the hospital's in the process right now. And she made me VP of the company. So when she made me VP, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm VP. Hey, like, like a title. But then I wasn't doing anything. So one day she called me. I'm like, hey, Mom. She's like, you're fired. I said, huh? What? Why? Why am I fired? Because if I'm in anything, I like to do, I'm like competitive a little bit. Like anything I'm in, I like to excel. I like to give it my all. But for me, the title was just good enough. And she's like, people are watching you. Like, I made you the VP, not because you're my daughter, because I see something in you that you can be a VP. You are a VP, and you need to show that. So I'm like, okay, just give me like a month trial. Like, then you can fire me after a month if I don't do anything. So I became really involved in things like that. And then eventually I hosted my first back to school drive last October, where we gave like 500 backpacks, hundreds of notebooks, school supplies to kids in need. Yeah.
What's the name of this so people can?
It's Amazing Grace Children's Charity.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if people wanted to donate, how can they donate?
Well, they can follow me on my page. It's Ivorynston. That's my personal page. My brand page is Ivorynstonethelabel. So it's IVORYNSTON.
Word. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
So your mental health, how is it?
Oh my God. I would say now that I'm more in tune with God, it has changed for me a lot. Because now the scriptures have become my weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, I used to go into a lot of depressive spells, and I would just be in it, and I had to use the people around me to get me out of it. But now that I read the Bible, and like certain scriptures are my favorite and things like that, and I'm seeing things differently now that I've gotten closer to God. That's my thing right there, like prayer and giving it to God, and just like, Lord, you know my heart, you know the situation, like, and just giving everything to Him. Yeah.
It gets dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real dark.
It gets
Yeah,
dark.
yeah,
It
yeah.
gets dark.
Mm-hmm.
Question.
Yeah.
This is like off the whim.
Sure.
Your favorite designer is who?
I would say Jean Paul Gaultier, Mugler, Otelinger, a lot of like Asian brands. Like Asian people know how to dress their ass off, like, and design. So a lot of like Asian designers I love, and yeah, I would say those are like my top 3.
And what about like clothing wise? Like, what's your favorite designer brand? Yeah.
I just go on Sense or Essence or whatever, how people call it, the SSENSE.
Okay.
And I just kind of just browse through there, and then I've discovered a lot of new brands. But the thing with me is like, I don't be knowing the names of stuff. Like when it comes to, I don't know the logistics. I just know what it looks like and the colors that I like, and I go with that. So now I'm trying to double back and understand who I'm buying from, and things like that. So when people ask me who's your favorite designer, I'm able to answer that, you know? Yeah.
So do you consider, I guess you consider yourself an entrepreneur, right?
Halfway. Because I have a 9-to-5 still.
You have a 9-to-5. As well as, you know.
As well as VP, as well as other little ventures, as well as my clothing line, yeah.
So when dealing with, because I feel like before I never used to like talk about like relationships and like dating, but I feel like us millennials, 9 times out of 10, or let me say at least 7 out of the 10 people that I meet, they have like a side.
Yeah.
So I always want to know how they balance that with dating. Does it really work when you're an entrepreneur and have a 9-to-5? Does it really work when your time is divided? You know what I mean? Like, you know, back then when our parents really just had their job, come back home, take care of the kids. Us, we're kind of chasing this thing where our time is not just go to work. I mean, go to work and come back home to your whatever. So
how do I balance that?
Yeah, how do you balance?
Well, that's something I'm still working on right now. Like for me, when I like somebody and I'm in something, I'm in all the way to the point where it's a little bit detrimental to me because I'm kind of like slacking on stuff and I'm all in like la la land with the dude. And it's like, I need to be delegating more time to me. Like if I'm in a relationship, I need to understand that there's time for that. And then I have to close that up and then get back to what I'm doing, because I could fall into the love and the oh my god and this new thing like so hard.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
Like, did I eat today?
Right.
You know,
It
like
doesn't
crazy.
matter.
Right. You know, so I'm like, hold on. So
that's all I need.
Yeah, you're right. Like literally, like that was it. Like I was Gucci after like, you know, certain situations, but then it's like everything else was failing for me. Like, you know, I have to be like in attendance to a lot of things. Like a lot of things are depending on me day in and day out. So even the days that I don't want to do something, I have to show up. Like I said, I've walked the streets of New York bawling my eyes out on my way to a fitting appointment. Like just because I'm going to something doesn't mean things stop. I still got to get up and perform. So right now I'm learning the balance between dating and my life, my busy, crazy schedule life that I need to still, you know, be 100% present for.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, what do you want?
Oh my God, that's such a good question. I want my health, my sanity, my family, my support system, my art.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. The first time I met you, I know where it was. I'm trying to think what year it was.
Yeah.
This had to be 20.
Probably like
20. No.
I don't know.
2018, 2019?
Probably like 2019, 2018.
Talking about
around
birthday
there.
party, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I never knew she was going through all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
I wear it well.
you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, because I like to put things aside. Like if I'm at a party, I'm not finna be woe is me. Like I can't stand that. Like I know I got things going on, but I can hang that up real quick, enjoy with my friends, enjoy life, because I enjoy life. Like I'm not gonna let anything hold me back. Like unless it's like extremely detrimental, then I won't show up because I'm not myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to, change face for wherever I'm at.
Or so if you had one advice for any entrepreneur out there, that's chasing their dream, that's failing, that's it's not going what they expected it to go, what would you tell them?
I would say pray on it, and if that's not your thing, then just keep going. It eventually pay off. But I hate the keep going advice, because if it's like, imagine you're ordained for something, but you're doing something else. It won't work no matter how hard you go for it. So that's why I say pray. So I don't know how to give advice to people who don't pray and don't believe. But like for those who do believe, you have to ask God, is this something you want me to do? Like I've asked God that many times, like with all the stresses and things I've been through. I'm like, God, why am I in this situation? What is this something you want me to do? Or is it something that I decided I want to do? Because it might not be in his will for me. You know what I'm saying? So like you have to pray on it and understand that you're going in for a ride where you have no real understanding of what you're getting yourself into, and you have to be prepared for all of it, and you have to not be discouraged no matter what you're going through. Like I've been in a lot of situations where it was super discouraging, where I could have just been like, I'm done, but that was my passion, like to just give up. Like me, I'm always gonna fight for what I want.
Yeah, I'll usually I'll ask God, like, talk to me in ways that's familiar to me. You know what I mean? So I can hear you. Let me know. Do I need to go harder or let this go?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Like I'm willing to go harder.
Yeah.
But
if it's not the direction I'm going, that's a waste of my time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You never want to waste your time, so you have to be clear on where you're going.
Yeah. So that's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Yeah.
So I seen, when you said the nonprofit, you said Amazing Grace. I had seen My Mind Matters.
Yeah. So that was the name of the program that I conducted in October. So I was like going into this, I'm like, what do I want to portray to these kids? I'm not trying to just give them stuff and be like, field day, hey, have fun. I wanted to leave them with a message. So I was like, my mind matters, because no matter what circumstances you're in, if you use your mind to develop something and don't kind of have your mind caged in because of what your environment looks like. If you expand your mind beyond your horizons, you can really come up with something, phenomenal, and get yourself out of the situation you're in. So that's the message that we push forward to these kids. Like you can do anything. Don't let your environment dictate what you can and cannot do, and your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? So, and for me, it's like God has blessed me tremendously, and I always feel like it's important to give back. So I go to Ghana all the time, turn up, pop bottles, spend money. But then you go to certain areas and kids don't even have a pencil to write with. And I'm like, how dare me go to Ghana, my culture, my ethnicity, everything like that, and not give back in any way, being that God has blessed me so much. So I was like, when I went around my birthday. So I was like, for my birthday this year, I'm going to do something for somebody else instead of for myself. Yeah.
I see. So I guess to kind of get that, because I know it all starts with the mind. So I guess that to spark the mind, is it more like a direct impact? Like you go there and you visit and you show like, hey, you can do this regardless of the situation.
Yeah, because like imagine like a rural school in Ghana. They don't get people coming and giving them stuff. They work with what they have, and sometimes when you only see something, you think that's it. But when we come, we're coming with a new, fresh idea. Like, look at us. We, grew up just like you, and, we were able to do something with our lives. So, like, don't limit yourself, and you can be bigger and better. When these kids are talented, they can dance, they can draw, they can paint, they can articulate themselves, sing. So I was like, y'all have talent here. Like, don't let that stop you from chasing your dreams because of your environment. Like, you don't see those things every day.
Yeah, it's tough because, like, even if, like, I feel like we all know we're good at something. Like there's something deep side, but sometimes it takes something to pull it out. And, if you don't have that force, then it's difficult to, for somebody.
And especially like the people who are raising you. If you think, hey, mom, I want to be a a famous dancer.
Right.
She's like, what?
What?
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like, you
get a
crazy?
job.
Like, get a job. Like,
Go to school.
have that security. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of like African mentality. They're very more of like a stability versus like chasing your dreams.
Yeah.
So you kind of gotta know, believe in yourself, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to do something other than that.
No, for real.
Mhm,
That's really,
mhm, mhm.
that's really is the key. You gotta.
Yeah.
I feel like even as an entrepreneur, you gotta believe in yourself.
What?
If you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter whether you want to be a designer, you want to do this, that.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet opposition.
Yeah.
Something's gonna
Yeah.
stop you. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be a straight path. You're gonna just
Yeah. That's my
everybody,
struggle
yeah.
right now. My
Yeah.
manufacturer, he was like, this leather jacket, you need a price for a certain price point. I'm like, whoa, why? That's expensive. He goes, you need to believe in yourself. Like, all this work and time and money you put into it, this is how much it costs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with that. He's like, you need to really reevaluate the way you think, and you need to believe in yourself, and the right audience will buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody can't afford it, then it's not for them.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
To piggyback off,
Yeah.
I always had this question, like, if I were to start a brand,
Yeah.
would I price it high, like the designers do,
Yeah.
or do I price it low so it can just be affordable? And
Yeah,
everybody
it
will
depends
buy
what it is. If you have a t-shirt business, of
Mhm.
course you can price it low.
Mhm.
But me, like feel this
Yeah,
leather
nah, I
right quick.
see
You
it.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is the embossed.
Check-
Listen,
check the
this is
material.
money right here.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta
Yeah.
pay myself back, or at least
Yeah.
break even. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm putting a lot of time, sweat, blood, tears, effort into this, and it's a
Yeah.
passion of mine, and I'm making sure that everything, like even the quilted inside,
Yeah,
you feel
inside,
me?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
That's the logo?
yeah, that's the
Oh, that's
logo.
tough.
My new logo I just
Yeah,
developed
that's nice.
for more like different things. 'Cause I have two
Yeah.
logos, so like one will go on one,
Mhm.
the others will go on the other. So like, yeah,
I like that.
Thank
Right.
you.
It's like
I
everything
remember
in
what I
one.
was gonna
Mhm.
say. Two things,
Yes.
and then we can wrap it up.
Okay.
I like that you do the nonprofit,
Yeah.
charity.
Yeah.
When my grandpa passed away, me and my family, like my cousins, we did this. I guess it's charity,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like an organization kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we just where my villages,
Mhm.
we donated the money to like the top students in
Mhm.
schools. I mean,
Beautiful.
of students who
Yeah.
couldn't afford to like go to like school,
Yeah.
and we just based on their test scores, whatever, we funded them to get into certain schools and stuff.
That's
like that, you know what I'm
huge.
saying?
Yeah, that's
You don't need
amazing.
an
And the feeling-
organization for that.
Yeah,
That's
and
huge.
the feeling was really good. You know what I mean?
What?
I
Mhm.
wish it could be it was just a one-time thing,
Yeah.
based on my last name.
Yeah.
But I wish it could be like a reoccurring,
Right.
Mhm.
you know what I'm
Each
saying?
year.
Because
Mhm.
A
like you
foundation.
said,
type
going
thing.
back home and then you popping bottles, you
Turning
the
up,
club,
spending money.
you kind of feel guilty, like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so
The-
I felt you on that.
The amount of
you know?
money I spent on one night's dinner can
Mm.
feed a multitude. You know what I'm saying? So
Do you follow her on Instagram?
No.
Yeah. She,
But I see her with Shanice and all that. So I was like, all right.
I think there was a December time where they all went.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Listen, anytime I pop out, is people be like, wow. And that's another thing why I love fashion, because I walk into rooms and people come to me. They're like,
Mhm.
who is she?
Mhm.
Looking like that. So
Mhm.
like that's why I love fashion. So I don't gotta open my damn mouth. Like
Right.
it speaks for itself. Yeah.
Last question.
Mhm.
Startup money.
Oh God.
So if I
Ooh.
wanted to start a brand or a fashion line or whatever, how much startup money do you think one would need?
So I've seen on YouTube people start up a business with like $500 and things like
Mhm.
that. But my situation's a little different because I'm doing luxury
Mhm.
streetwear. So like I had to come with a little bit more money than that.
Mhm.
So that's such a hard question to answer because it depends what you're trying to sell. If you're trying to do luxury, you need to save.
Mhm.
You need to really save and make sure, because a sample can cost anywhere from a couple hundred to thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I work so hard. Let me make sure I get my little money so I can pay for these samples. So it's not easy. It's not easy at
Okay,
all.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank you
We
for
had
coming.
fun.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like
Conversation was great.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Keep going.
Oh,
Yes.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in you.
Oh, thank you.
Keep doing your thing. For real.
Yeah.
I love seeing. I always say it. Black
Yeah.
women doing
Mhm.
great things.
Yeah.
It motivates us black
Right.
men
Yeah.
to do better,
Yeah.
to keep going.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
So yeah, best of luck.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
We're gonna promote you as best as we
Yes.
can.
Oh,
we're gonna
that's so
push it.
sweet.
never give up.
Yeah, and I love what you guys are doing here, like a platform where people like little me could come and say something. Like that's fire. Like you guys, I hope you guys continue this. And so far, so good.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
One day we all at the
Oh
top.
yeah. With
Uh-huh.
glass of champagne. Facts. You know, that's
So
what I'm waiting
keep
for.
doing your thing. Don't
Thank
give
you.
up.
Thank you.
Where can the people find you, reach you at?
So my brand is Ivorynstonethelabel on Instagram, TikTok Ivorynstonethelabel, and my personal is IVORYNSTONE. So you can find that on my business page as well.
All right, cool.
Yes.
And that's it.
There we have it. All right. All things money.
All things money.
We out.
Ivory and Storm.